So I think I'm wearing the exact same thing that I did in the last video. And I promise you, it is different days.
Get your bones in the dirt, dry them off and let them burn.
Hello everybody and welcome back to The Lunch Break. Today, it is finally spooky season. It is finally the season of the spook. Some would call it spooky season. Some would call it fall. Either way, it's now time for the leaves to fall and the Halloween decorations to go up and for you to start thinking about what you'll be going as. Will you be a slutty pumpkin, a slutty cat, or like me last year, what every boy and every man thinks about, at least on a weekly basis? Now, I have a bit of a different background here going right now. This guy, I got a green screen in the back. I got another video that I want to record, so I just thought, maybe we can spice it up a little bit within the lunch break episode. Maybe I'll just put Subway Surfer behind me the whole time. That fosters engagement, right? With the spooky season, with fall time, comes my yearly addiction to Magic the Gathering. I have bought 5 packs, meet in the middle, 5 packs in the last week or so. I haven't touched the game since about a year ago. I now know what the new set is, Duskmorn, which is really cool. It's all like Halloween-y, which is perfect timing. And I believe they did that, but at the same time, it's like a lot of the stuff in the set is based around like Halloween movies. So I feel like once Halloween's over, I wonder how long that vibe is going to hold. Either way, we're back into Magic the Gathering to some degree. I've been watching a lot of Wubby, Pay Money Wubby has his own like Magic Monday, Wubby Magic Mondays, as well as Skill something. It's Moist Criticals. Everybody seems to be into that right now. That seems to be the big thing. I didn't know that Magic was so encompassing of the gaming community. I know that it was a big thing, I understand, but I didn't think everybody was as involved in it as, it just seemed like one of those side things where some of them did it, like Boogie when he was, sane. But now I know that everybody is, because Tulare Community College was having Wubby on, he had Charlie on, he had Dr. Lupo on, I think. Everybody's kind of intermingling and playing Magic, which is kind of cool. But again, it's refostering my Magic interest and addiction. And I also have a friend here, Felix, shout out Felix, for always knowing so much about the game and involving me or encouraging me to dive deeper into my habits. When I was in high school, I played it quite a bit. I jumped in, for those who don't know, Khans of Tarkir, we'll throw it right here. That rhymed. My time playing Magic the Gathering in high school was a very defining moment for me in a lot of ways. Some being that I learned what loss or not loss was. The story I'm going to tell today, it's not a very long story as per usual for my videos, but they turn out to be 5, 10, 15 minutes anyways. When I was a kid, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I was a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Kid. My old babysitter taught me how to play. I got the Joey deck. I got Red Eyes Black Dragon, and I was all into it, and he had the Yugi deck, and he would always win because he was better than me and also older than me. So, but at the same time, I learned how to play, and I watched the show. I played the games. I collected the cards. I remember I had this magazine where it listed all of the different cards and the sets that were out at the time and their prices and where you can buy it and whatnot. And I remember looking through that thing for months and months, just just assessing the prices and just seeing all the cards and saying, oh, I want planning in my head all the ones I would buy if I had the money and, the Egyptian god cards and Exodia and all that stuff. I remember growing up with that and building out this collection that I was very proud of. I was it was a connection of myself to my childhood. So as I grew up into high school and whatnot, while I didn't continue to play the game, I still liked every once in a while pulling out my collection and just sitting there looking through it and having that nostalgic feel, even at 18 or 17 or whatever in high school. So a couple friends of mine, I think it was my D&D I played D&D like once or twice with a buddy of mine and his neighbor DM'd for us, and it was my introduction to that whole space. But he also played Magic, and I know that another friend of mine, Kyle, he dabbled in it as well. So we all kind of concocted together, like, you know what? Maybe we'll play. Maybe we'll go. And we asked the guy where he went and how he acquired his cards and stuff, because we were very new at it. We had no idea what anything was. So he told us there was this shop in the middle of Lancaster City called War and Pieces. War and Pieces has a very special place in my heart. I love that place, and I love the guy that ran it. Tyler, I saw you a couple months ago in Lancaster when I was there, and I didn't want to be weird and yell. Not that you're ever going to see this video, but I saw him, and I was like, oh, shit, it's Tyler. He was so nice to me when I was in high school. I was amongst all like the 30-year-old full-time life people, adults. I was amongst the adults, and I was like one of the few kids that would hang out and play Magic every Friday night for F&M. And Tyler was always willing to chat with me and help me out and whatnot. And it was very, very cool. So War and Pieces has a very I can even still remember the smell of the store, because it was right next to like a Chinese place, like in this like small mall within the building in the middle of Lancaster City. I would spend almost every one of my Fridays there, hanging out with a bunch of adults and playing Magic the Gathering. But in order to get into that, and in order to, become a part of that whole thing, I needed to learn what Magic was. I needed to learn how to play the game and what the whole deal was. So thankfully, there was this kid at my church. Yes, I went to church, and there was a guy at church that I knew, and I knew he played both Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic. Now, I think he was in his Yu-Gi-Oh! Phase at that point, and he was like, yeah, just come by at some point, and like we can, I'll show you what the deal is, blah, blah, blah. So, cool. I end up showing up to War and Pieces like the first or second time, and lo and behold, he's there. The guy that I know from church is there. I brought my collection of Yu-Gi-Oh cards with me to see if there's any way that I could like trade some in and see if any are of high value, and start my Magic collection, just to like kind of do an even trade. I have a bunch of stuff with Yu-Gi-Oh that I don't use anymore, and I want to involve myself into Magic or invest myself into Magic. So maybe there's an even trade that can be made. So I go in there, I see him, we start mingling when I'm like, I really want to try to get into this. I don't know how to, I don't know what to buy. I don't know what to get. I don't know how to start this whole thing. And he's like, oh, let me see your collection. I was like, okay. So I handed him over my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and he pulled out the Dark Magician Girl, Revival Jam probably. He pulled out a bunch of them, and he was like going through and like blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
okay, so you have a bunch of cards, right? Like, is there any way that you can help me like get started on my Magic stuff?
He's like, yeah. So he starts like pulling all the really nostalgic cards from me, puts them down on the table, like,
yeah, it's probably worth like this one card.
He hands me a Jace. It was like one of the Planeswalker bullshit Jaces. At the time, I'm like,
that's like 6 of my cards are worth 1 of yours?
He's like, no, market price, these are not that good and like whatever.
And in my heart though, I'm like,
but this is like my childhood.
But I also wanted to, get into Magic. So I'm like, I trusted him. Like, maybe he knows what he's talking about. So I swallowed it and I said,
okay.
And I handed him my childhood, and he handed me one foiled Jace. And I looked at it, and he's like, all right, thanks. And then we parted ways, and immediately I felt regret of what I did. Why did I just do that? And I looked up the pricing of this Jace like a little bit after to see, maybe it was worth it. It was $8. Homeboy took my childhood for $8. And at that point, I was like, I'm never doing that again. If I have something that is nostalgic to me and it's worth more to me than like some sort of if it's worth more to me, I'm not gonna sell it for cheap. We'll put it that way. I think at that point I was like, this is when I really care about something, or I really like I'm connected to something, I'm gonna be a little more hesitant to just listen to what other people are saying about that. I ended up later buying a copy of Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl in college, or like a little bit after college, just because I was like, I want to just, I just want to have one again. And they weren't expensive. I think it was like $10 per card, or like $5 per card, or something like that. But at the same time, it wasn't the same, It wasn't my collection. It wasn't the things that I had from a kid. I don't even know if they were like first edition or like whatever. They could have been like, I don't know even if that's worth anything, but like it could have been. And homeboy just swindled me. While I don't think he did it on purpose, I also think that he had his best interest in mind. And he was like, yeah, this is worth about it. Because he was already involved in the whole thing, and he had no emotional connection to it. He didn't give a shit about his $8 Jace. So he just, whatever. Yeah, fall season comes with, wrap that up. Fall season comes with Magic the Gathering addictions and investments. And I think later today I will be investing more into my addiction and buying a commander deck, because apparently that's what people play now. Yeah. Happy spooky season, guys. I'm an up and down. It's very weird. I'm in these ups and downs now when it comes to, this progression for, that I think I got it. I am holding on so heavily to my ideas and my mentality towards this project, but me being me, the phases I'm going through, it sucks, because I'm losing the traction, but I don't want to lose the traction. So I'm just trying to hold on to it, and trying to being that Magic is in like a similar spot as gaming, like and whatnot, in that same realm, apparently, I'm allowing myself to indulge in that, and not letting that, and allowing that to kind of keep me in the same area, like right next to it, like neighbors with my previous ideas, so that I don't stray too far and like get really back into graffiti or some shit. I'm trying to hold it, because I need to hold it. We'll put it that way. So, like this video if you think I should hold it. So that's basically it. That's my story of my unhealthy Magic the Gathering addiction. I can tell you about D&D, Dave the Were-Rat at some point. That was fun. It was great. Dave was the man. Either way, thanks again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know what I should make videos about, or anything next. And I will see you in the next one. Hopefully not wearing the same outfit. Okay. Goodbye.
Get your bones in the dirt, get those bones